What if I tell you that controlling the mind is not about fighting your thoughts, but about understanding how to let them go? That the key to inner peace is not in suppressing the mind, but in knowing how to work with it. Welcome back to our channel. Let's dive deep into the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. In our last video, we explored the 5 types of mental modifications, vrittis, where we saw that our mind is always engaged with either correct knowledge, incorrect knowledge, imagination, sleep, or memory. We realized that before we can still the mind, we must first observe where it spends most of its time. Now, in today's session, we take the next step. How do we reduce these mental modifications? How do we move towards stillness? Patanjali now introduces 2 essential tools, abhyas and vairagya, that is, practice and detachment. These are the twin pillars of yoga, the methods by which we quiet the mind and experience true inner freedom. If you're ready to understand how to work with your thoughts instead of being controlled by them, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos in this series. Now, let's begin with 12th Sutra. Abhyas vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. This sutra tells us how to still the mind. Abhyas means persistent practice. Vairagya means detachment or renunciation. Tan nirodha means leads to control of the mental modifications. In simpler terms, the fluctuations of the mind can be controlled through regular practice and detachment. Imagine you are trying to tame a restless monkey. If you just force it to sit still, it will rebel. But if you train it with patience, that is abhyas, and also remove unnecessary distractions, that is vairagya, the monkey will eventually calm down. Remember that both practice and detachment must go together, because if we only practice without detachment, we may become frustrated when we don't see quick results. And if we only detach without effort, we may become passive or indifferent. Now, this naturally raises the next question. What is true practice? That is what Patanjali explains in the next sutra. The 13th sutra is Tatra sthito yatno abhyasaha. Here, Patanjali defines abhyas or practice. Tatra means there, in that. Sthito means stability. Yatna means effort. And abhyasa means practice. So, practice is the continuous effort to remain stable in stillness. Let's understand this by an example. Just like a musician must practice daily to master an instrument, we must practice stilling the mind through meditation, self-awareness, and discipline. A tree grows strong only if it stays rooted in one place for years. Similarly, the mind becomes steady through consistent effort over time. But how long should we practice? And what makes a practice truly effective? That is answered in the next sutra. The 14th sutra says, Sa tu dirghkal nairantarya satkar asevito drid bhumi. Here, Patanjali explains the 3 qualities of true practice. Dirghkal means long duration. Nairantarya means without interruption or consistent. Satkar asevito means done with sincerity and devotion. And drid bhumi means firmly established. This means that our practice must be long-term, consistent, and done with dedication. For example, if you go to the gym once a month, will you get strong? No. But if you train regularly with dedication, results will come. A plant doesn't grow strong in one day. It needs water, sunlight, and time. The same applies to the mind. It needs steady practice. Meditation needs consistency. Many people try meditation or yoga for a few days and quit when they don't see results. But Patanjali tells us that real transformation takes time. However, practice alone is not enough. If we keep practicing but remain attached to desires and distractions, the mind will still be restless. That's why detachment or vairagya is the second essential tool, which is explained in the next sutra. The 15th sutra is Drishta anushravik vishay vitrishasya vashikar sangya vairagyam. Here, Patanjali explains vairagya or detachment. Drisht literally means seen, but in this context it means worldly pleasures. Anushravik literally means heard, but here it means pleasures from scriptures, beliefs or traditions. Vishay means objects of desire. Vitrashrasya means absence of craving. Vashikar Sangya means complete mastery. Vairagyam means detachment, dispassion. True detachment is when one is free from craving for both worldly pleasures, that is materialistic desires, and promised pleasures from scriptures, that is the desire to attain heaven. To understand this, imagine a child outgrowing a toy. The toy still exists, but it no longer excites the child. Similarly, a yogi doesn't need to forcefully renounce anything. True vairagya happens when desires naturally lose their grip on us. Detachment does not mean rejecting the world or becoming emotionless. It means not being controlled by desires. Now, Patanjali takes this idea even further. What is the highest level of detachment? The next sutra is Tatparam Purushkhyate Gun Vaitrishyam. This sutra describes the ultimate form of vairagya. Tatparam means that is the highest. Purushkhyate means through realization of the true self or Purush. Gun Vaitrishyam means complete detachment even from the fundamental qualities, that is, gunas of nature. This is the highest level of detachment, when even the pull of nature itself no longer binds a person. Just like a lotus grows in water but remains untouched by it, similarly the enlightened person lives in the world but is no longer attached to it. Or a person watching a movie knows it is not real. One who reaches this state sees life as a passing drama but remains untouched. This is the state of freedom from all bondage, all desires, and all expectations. The gateway of true liberation, also called Kaivalya. Now, to summarize these sutras in simple terms, to still the mind we need abhyas and vairagya, that is, practice and detachment. True practice is long-term, consistent, and done with sincerity. True detachment is not suppression, but the natural absence of craving. The highest detachment comes with self-realization, where nothing in the world binds us anymore. Yoga is not about forcing stillness, but about understanding the mind and gradually freeing ourselves from distractions. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you find it easier to practice or to detach. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode in this series of the Yoga Sutras. Till then, stay safe, stay sattvic.